So when I started my business, I heard about a strawberry farmer. So I called him up and I said, "Hi, my name is Ajoke. I want you to be my supplier." And he said, "Oh, sure. How many cartons are we talking about? I just need 5 kilos." And so he stopped. He said, "Nah, I don't supply small businesses."
Hi there. Welcome once again to the Just Start podcast. I'm your host. My name is Timothy Kunat. And you know that right here we have conversations, stories, insights around business, culture shaping, leadership, and everything in between from and around the city of Jos. It is always such a privilege and such a joy to be with you on your screens and, wherever you're listening from across the world. It's always such a joy to bring this to you every week. And I'm sure that it has been an amazing ride so far. Every week, we're bringing you great sessions, we're bringing you great insights. And I've been hearing and getting a lot of feedback from you guys, right? People telling me about things that they've started, things that they've launched, decisions that they've made because of somebody's insight that was shared on this podcast. And it warms my heart so much. And I'm really, really grateful. Thank you. Thank you for being part of this. Thank you for following me on this journey and making it worth every step. And if this is your first time logging in and joining on this podcast, welcome. I appreciate you. Welcome. I feel like, just putting my hands together and, celebrating you because you're like the real MVP. But take this from me. I really do appreciate you. Welcome. Wherever you are, you know the drill. I want you to hit that subscribe button. The subscribe button doesn't bite, according to some people, right? It doesn't bite, right? So hit the subscribe button, like, share, follow on our social media platforms, right? Leave a comment on these videos and let's make such strong engagement happen. I'd like to know where you're watching this from and the things that stand out for you that resonate with you as we go on. All right. Thank you so much. So today, I'm taking you on a very interesting journey. Plateau State is known as apart from it being known as the home of peace and tourism, Plateau State is actually known for agriculture. There's nothing you cannot, if they tell me the top 3 things that I know about Plateau State or top 3 things that you know about Plateau State or about Jos, I'm sure that something around food and agriculture will be in that first 1 or 2 or 3 things that you'll talk about. And so that's what influenced my session for today. We're going to be talking a lot about agriculture and food systems in this session. And in choosing my guest for today, a number of things came to mind, and you will find out very soon as the conversation gets in. But I am here with someone who, this is like an exclusive, guys. This is an exclusive, guys. My guest today is very popular, especially on Instagram, right? But a lot of people don't even know the face behind the brand. And so today, I'm here with the amazing Ajoke Amusat. And it is good to have you here. She is the founder of the Grocery Lady
Agrommerce Services.
Agrommerce Services.
Yes.
You're welcome, Ajoke.
So much,
it's exciting to be able to do this with you finally.
Yeah, you dragged me. Yeah.
Awesome. So when it comes to especially the new wave of agripreneurship, as I like to, address it as, the Grocery Lady has done such amazing work in this new wave of young people getting into agriculture here on the plateau, and especially not just in primary production, but across various parts of the value chain.
Yeah.
But before we get into all of that, I always like to start with, who is Ajoke? And maybe even take us to, what was 10-year-old Ajoke like? And was there anything in your background that sparked your curiosity into agriculture?
So I would say not exactly, because what people don't know is that everything I know right now, I learned on the job.
Wow.
I studied performing arts at the University of Ilorin.
Are you serious?
So I was not even on the path.
Oh, I didn't know that part.
I was not even on the path to, with agriculture. Nothing on my path even brought me towards agriculture. And it was when I got posted from Lagos, because I lived in Lagos all my life, and I got posted to Jos for NYSC. And as a Lagosian, I'm sorry, At that point, I told myself I was not going to go. I told myself that nowhere am I going to Plateau State because the news then, the media, what they carried was just was not safe. The just crisis. So everything I knew about Jos was just what I, read on social media and, that was reported by the media. So I already had a very bad feeling about, going to Jos. But I had to. And so I went to Jos. The camp then was in Mangu. And my first impression was the blue sky and the weather.
Wow.
I had never seen sky so blue like that in Nigeria. Coming from someone that lived in Lagos, So I was very, very, I was very shocked, and I was like, why have I never seen this part of, Jos being portrayed? And the camp in Mangu was also very clean. The people were also very, very nice. They were also very hospitable. So from the camp, I was just, at that point, I felt like, so the plan before was just I would come to the camp and then I would find a way to, redeploy, go to Lagos, find a job. But having experienced that, I told myself that, okay, Ajoke, hold on. This is just the camp. You need to experience what outside the camp, like the city, before you make that decision to redeploy outside of Jos. So I stayed when everybody left, and then I went to the city, and my, experience in the city also was very, very shocking. And it was during my service year that I came across strawberries in Jos. Again, I have to say, as someone that lived in Lagos, schooled in Ilorin, if you wanted fruits like strawberries, you could only find them in selected stores, not every stores.
The big stores.
Exactly, the big stores that import, into Nigeria.
Yes.
So, I was in Jos, on the street, in traffic. The traffic was a British. I can never forget. It was British. We were in traffic, and this woman came forward because we're stuck in traffic for a little bit, just for some cars to pass.
Yes.
And then this woman came to us and said, "Strawberries, strawberries, strawberries. Do you want strawberries?" And I just looked at her and it just did not. There are some words that you could never you never believe that you could hear at that point. And I was like the real strawberries, and she said yes. And I said, "How much?" She said, 1,000 naira for 2 packs. And I looked at my friend, I said, does this woman know what she's saying? Because in Lagos, strawberries were sold at least 5,000 naira, at least 5K. And that was even a good bargain. And here is someone offering me 2 packs of strawberries for 1,000 naira. I took those strawberries, I went home, and I still kept on feeling like, I think I cheated this woman. I don't think she knows how much she's selling the strawberries. And so my curiosity sparked. I told myself that I need to see these strawberries myself. I need to see the farms. I can't believe it. So I asked around, and just people, they're always very open with information. They said, oh, if you want to see strawberries or you want to meet the farmers, go to Building Material Market. And so I went to Building Material Market, and there was strawberries everywhere. That was the peak season. That was during December. Strawberries were everywhere. And so I went forward and I took a picture. And at that time, I had an iPhone 6. The camera wasn't good. The back camera was broken. So I had to use my front camera. It wasn't a great picture. It was a very, very blurry picture. But I took it anyways. And I posted on my Twitter account. Now, my Twitter account, I'm one of those people on Twitter that I don't post. I'm not popular. I just watch and I read tweets. That's all I do on Twitter. So imagine my shock when I posted, strawberries from Jos on my Twitter page, and I went viral, Timothy.
I think I saw that post. This was probably 2018-ish.
Yes.
I remember seeing that post.
And my post went viral. It was so bad that I couldn't use my phone for days because of the notifications, the messages, the DM. And like I said, my Twitter page was just my personal page. I wasn't someone that usually tweets. And I had people just messaging me. I think we had over 7,000 retweets as at then. I had 300 DMs. I had comments. And I was just like, what's
going on?
I was like, what's going on? What's happening? I was so shocked. And like I said, I didn't have a very good phone then. So my phone was hot. As I was replying messages, my phone was just very, very hot. But I knew that, okay, there's work to be done here. So I started replying the messages. I started telling people, I started calling the farmers that I met when I went to building material that, oh, how much, are the strawberries? How much will it cost for this? I started asking questions because, there was demand on my hands and I just did not know how the supply worked, but I had to figure it out. So, I started asking questions and I started getting orders. And I had my first paycheck. I can still remember who sent me the first money, and it felt like I was dreaming at that point. People started transferring money to me because I was selling my strawberries then at 2,000 naira, and I had people just sending money per kg, and then I collected transport fare. I didn't understand the whole accounting aspect, so I was buying at 1K, I was selling at 2K. So to me, that was enough. That was fine, right? And I got so many orders. I got orders from Lagos, from Abuja, from Kaduna, and I was just telling everyone, I can deliver everywhere. Nationwide delivery, everywhere. Just send in your orders. And it felt good. It felt good because, I was, someone that studied performing arts, and now I'm here, taking orders. I'm in agriculture right now, and so the orders started coming in. I started taking the orders, and it felt really good because going from a youth corper that, relied on our parents for money, and then now I have my own money. So I think at that point I just told myself that I don't need my parents. I'm rich. There's money. I have money. So then the questions started coming in. When am I getting my order? And I said, okay, time to deliver. So I reached out to the farmers that I met. Building material, perfect place to meet farmers. I reached out to them and I told them that, I have orders. How does it work? So first lesson, I learned about the seasonality, about the harvest, when they harvest. There are days when they harvest, Mondays, Thursdays. So each farmer has their harvest day. So I learned already. I started taking notes, okay, Mondays and Thursdays. I said, okay, I need strawberries for so and so date. Where do we meet? Building material, Angle D, which is, the road to the farm.
Yes.
So they told me that, okay, we'll meet you at Angle D. And because I was new and I asked them questions, I said, okay, how do you guys get things across? Because the farmers were the ones I was relying on information on. I said, how do you guys get things across? How do you guys ship these things out? And so I think that was a very weird question to ask because they were farmers, they didn't know. So they just told me that, just go to the roadside, you find a vehicle going to Abuja and just hand over to them and they will take it. And I said, oh, cool, that's nice. I asked again, how do you guys package the strawberries? They said, just pour it inside the boxes, nothing fancy, just pour them in the boxes. They are fine, they'll be fine. I said, good. So my first delivery is to Abuja and Kaduna. So I got to Angudi, I met the farmer, we packed them in the boxes, nothing fancy, just poured them in the boxes like that. And then we found a driver that was going to Abuja, and I was about to hand over the package to the driver, and then a voice said, Ajoke, if you give this driver this item and it doesn't go well, all that money that you have to return it. So you have to make sure that this is your first delivery goes well. And so I did the craziest thing. I have to say, my parents will be hearing this for the first time. I'm sorry. I did the craziest thing ever. I jumped in the car. I wasn't prepared, no bags, nothing packed. And I said, you know what? I'm traveling with these items to Abuja.
What time was that?
This was around 4.
In the evening?
Yes. And I said, I'm traveling with these items to Abuja. And I got in the car. And everybody was surprised. My farmer was like, are you sure? I'm like, I have to do this. This is my first real business. I'm an adult right now, and I need to take responsibility. So I felt like, I need to take this seriously. So I jumped in the car, and we got to Abuja, and that was my first time in Abuja also. I've never been to Abuja. And then we got there, I called all the customers, they all came to pick up. It felt really, really good meeting these people that ordered and believed in me. The first set of customers I had, it felt really good meeting them in person. I handed over their orders to them, they were happy, everybody was happy. And then they left and I was done. And then that's when it dawned on me that, where would you sleep? So it was 7 o'clock, I think, and I've never been to Abuja. I don't have anyone in Abuja. So I was like, I don't have money for an hotel. So I have to go back. I couldn't tell my parents also. So I said, I have to go back to Jos. So I went to the park people and I told them that, is there a vehicle going back to Jos this night? They said, no. I said, please, I need to go back to Jos. They were like, you can't go. It's late. You're a girl. I said, I don't have anywhere to sleep. I don't know anything about Abuja. I don't even know where to go to. Please, can you help? Is there a way I can go back to Abuja? They said, okay, there's someone that is loading only Kaya, that's what they call cargo.
Yes.
So there's a space in front. Can you travel with him? And I said, okay, let's go and meet him. So we went to meet him. He was an old man. His car was, his Sienna was filled with just, packages and people's items. And I went to meet and I said to him that, can I travel back with you to Jos? And he said, you are a very young girl. Can't you just wait? It's late. I was like, please, I need to go back. I cannot afford to stay in Abuja. I don't have anything on me. And so he said, okay, sure. We'll travel and, we'll get in around like 2 or 3, but let's go. So I called my friends. Also, another thing that I need to say is you need friends. You need people. So then I was a youth corper. So I had other youth corpers that, we were all staying in a shared apartment at that time. And I called them and I said, you guys, I'm coming back this night. I need you guys to stay up for me. Please don't go to sleep. I would be updating you as, because I couldn't call my parents. I couldn't call any of my family members. It was a very risky thing that I did.
Of course.
But then we traveled through the night and it was a very nice thing. It was a very nice feeling. Because we traveled through the night and it was like a road trip. We stopped on the way at Akwanga. We got some food. We got drinks. I shared my story. He shared his story. And before we knew it, I was already in Jos. And the road was very smooth. There were security checks on the road. So I wasn't scared. I just felt comfortable. I felt like I was on a road trip.
Yeah.
And so at 2 a.m. in the morning, we got to Jos. We got to the junction of my house. And there were my friends.
Wow.
All ailing me and cheering me on. And they were all happy. And I remember getting down from the vehicle, crossing to the other side of the road. And I looked back. I looked at the man that helped me. And I said my goodbye, but it felt like I would never see this person again. It's likely I would never see him again. But this person, he didn't do anything. He made the journey very interesting for me. And so I remember looking at him and then looking at my friends. And at that point, I just felt like there's something here. Like I felt fulfilled at that point. And I started and they all because to me, I felt like I conquered it. My worst fear was that it was going to go wrong. And it didn't. So I just felt like we're running, right? So that was like the first, delivery that I did. But then it was time to deliver Lagos orders. And that's when I realized that agriculture is more than just, deliver, go and come. It's not like that. It's very, very different. So for Lagos orders, I decided to do the same thing I did for Abuja, gave it to a driver that was going to Lagos, take, send. Then the item got to Lagos, got to the customers, and everything arrived spoiled. And I said, I don't understand, but I did this for Abuja. What went wrong?
What went wrong?
And then they said, Lagos is further than Abuja. Lagos is like 12, 15, 17 hours. Abuja is just 4 hours. And so I started panicking because all the customers were reaching out to me saying, oh, my strawberries are spoiled. My strawberries arrived spoiled. I'm going to call you out. And that was when I realized that, okay, this is not child's play. This is serious business. So I told the customers, I said, I'm really, really sorry. I'm going to fix this. So all the profit I made, or I thought I made, I had to redo the order again. And then I now had to ask people. I said, not the farmers, real people. I said, how do you send things to Lagos? And they said, oh, there's an airport. I said, there's an airport? They said, yes, there's, I said, oh, yeah, there's one at Ipang. Yes. That's how everyone sends their strawberries to Lagos. You drop it there, they'll ship it to you in Lagos, and it will arrive in perfect condition. I said, oh, God.
Why didn't I?
And so I had to now do it the right way this time. And I still have a picture. If you go on my Instagram page, on my Twitter page, the Grocery Lady, you will see the picture I put there. I wrote it there. Strawberries ready to fly. Because I had to document that feeling of, shipping and flying strawberries, not by road, but by air. And it was a very good feeling. And so going to the airport was when I realized that I was also not the only one doing this business. Going to the airport, I found other business people that were also selling strawberries, and it felt like such a relief because I'm like, oh, I'm not the only one. I'm not alone. So they introduced themselves. They said, oh, this is what I do. This is my business page. Oh, we're on Instagram, not on Twitter, because I was on Twitter at that time. So I realized that, okay, I can also start posting on Instagram. So I started posting on Instagram, created an Instagram page, and I started posting there. And Instagram was where we gained traction. Yeah. Because my post was not just on come and buy. It was on educating people. I was documenting everything. Everything I was learning on the way, I was putting it there. New facts, new things. And another thing I did again was, okay, and I think I need to say that I am a very adventurous person. I have a very curious mind. So because I discovered strawberries, I knew that there was other things that were growing at that time, but I need to find them. Right. So I embarked on a journey traveling around Plateau State. So I started traveling to other local governments in Plateau State all alone. And the Plateau people they're just very nice and accommodating. So they took me around. So I discovered blackcurrant. I discovered flowers. I didn't know that flowers grew in Plateau State, Nigeria, because I felt like flowers were imported also, just like strawberries. So I was like, it was like, what else do you guys have? What else have you been hiding from us? Because I did not know this side of Jos. All I knew was just insecurity and fights. So I embarked on the journey. I kept on traveling around Plateau State. I kept on going to farmers and people. But because I was not an indigenous, a lot of people were also very skeptical about selling to me. So what I had to do was I had to earn people's trust. So I had to let them know that, this is what I want to do. I want to buy from you, and I want to ship it to businesses and people, in other states. Because I had to explain to them that right now, what you guys have is surplus and it's going to waste. Meanwhile, there in Lagos, there's a lot of demand for it. There's a lot of demand, and there's scarcity in Lagos. Yeah. So I knew I had to aggregate what they have and, send it to the people that need it, and then, where it's valuable. Yeah. It wasn't easy, but with time, people started to warm up to me, and they started calling me like, oh, Ajoke, I have this, Ajoke, I have that, Ajoke, I have this. And that's how we started building, our produce list. And then I started reaching out to my customers, also posting it that, oh, did you know that flowers grow in Nigeria? And that's another thing that trended also. We became very, very popular with flowers also. We started, selling flowers to lovebirds. We were doing all these things, right? But with business, you have to understand your strengths, understand where you do well and where you don't. So with flowers are very, very time sensitive. Yes. And I learned again that logistics is one of the major problems in agriculture. So with flowers, by the time we ship the flowers, they would arrive spoiled. And then with the potatoes, the tomatoes we were selling, so then we used to sell tomatoes in baskets, in bulk. We were doing everything. We were delivering nationwide, we were doing everything. But the stress, it was just so draining. So I had to tell myself, I said, okay, you can't do everything. You have colleagues that are doing this. Let them focus on that. You find your own strength. So my own strength was finding those produce that are exotic or those produce that are rare that most people don't even know. And that was my strength. Because I love adventure and I love traveling around, Plateau State and everywhere. That was my strength. So I focused on that. We discovered fresh dates grew in Nigeria because we traveled all the way from Jos to Jigawa State and we found date farmers. So my strength was just finding things that people would not, go and look for. And that was my strength. And I had customers that were just very happy, with what we were doing. Yeah. And we became like the page you would go to when you needed to, learn. Because we were educating people, we were posting educative content, we were teaching people about food safety. Things like, oh, do not wash your oranges with soap. Stop washing your carrots with soap.
Basic things that sometimes you wish people would know these things, but they honestly don't.
They don't. So those were things that we were doing. We're teaching people, oh, this is how to eat passion fruits. This is how to do that. And so we went from just selling to homes to now selling to proper businesses. And we became one of the leading suppliers of produce from Jos to major businesses in Lagos, Abuja, and, across Nigeria. Because we were supplying restaurants, we were supplying hotels, and it was really good. It felt really, really good. So that's the journey, and that's the story of how the Grocery Lady started.
Amazing.
Thank you.
The Grocery Lady. How did you pick that name?
The name came to me because I remember, I said I was using the page. It was my personal page, but as publicity grew and then we gained traction, I realized that, okay, I can't be using Ajoke Amusat. I have to change the name. So I sat down with my friends, my corporate friends, shout out to Michi and everyone else. And we started, thinking, what can we call this business? We had different names. We kept on coming with different names, but it just did not ring a bell. And so one day, I can't even remember how, I sat up and I said, how about the grocery lady? And everybody was like, grocery lady, grocery lady, grocery lady. And the name just, it just
stuck.
It stuck. And then you were like, that makes sense, grocery lady. And because it wasn't just me, it was a bunch of people. Most of our farmers are mostly women. So the grocery lady, not just Ajoke, but like a name that represents all the women that we have, all the women that, are under the business. And most of the farmers that you see that own this land, they're the owners, they're men. But the people that do the work behind the scenes, people that cultivate the land, that till it, that do the weeding, they're mostly women, right? On most of the strawberry farms in Plateau State, you would find that the women are the one doing everything. They're the one planting, they're the one harvesting. Most farms employ up to 50 women.
Wow.
The women also, bring their children to help or assist. So it's like a community of women. So yeah, the name the grocery lady just stuck. It had a deeper meaning.
It's actually a really beautiful name because somehow it just, like you said, became very relatable.
Exactly.
Right? So people could just say, oh, the grocery lady.
The grocery lady, yeah. It was a name that you could remember. If you're trying to think of...
You can remember the name,
remember.
actually.
If you're trying to think of, that lady that sells something from Jos, what's her name? Grocery
lady.
Exactly. So yeah, it was a name that, I've stuck with over the years. And
would you say that your background
yes,
and where you came from shaped the way you took this business and the way you did this business in the terms of, for example, you talked about now focusing on social media and certain things. Do you think that, and even the kind of clients you began to interact with, do you think that there was any part of your background that influenced how you started, you operated as a business?
Definitely. So I grew up in Lagos. And if you're a Lagosian, in Lagos, you cannot dull.
You don't play.
Exactly, you don't play. You have to think fast on your feet. You have to be very, very smart. And, it was those traits that I poured into the business. Also, performing arts is more than just, you guys are only dancing, you guys are not serious. Performing art taught me how to, copywriting, script writing. So the content I put out there, the caption, if you look at my page
about to go to
and
that
my
next
post,
too.
I learned all those because I was a drama major in performing at University of Ilorin, and what they taught us how to write a story, how to carry the audience along. With performing arts, you have to carry everyone along. It's a stage play. You have to make it interesting. So those were the things I learned. I learned script writing, I learned editing, I learned directing. I also learned, how to bring in money, how to the PR and marketing. Because for my final year projects in University of Ilorin, I led the PR and marketing. I had to, raise the funds, right, for the play that we're going to do, which was part of my project. I was the marketing and PR manager. So I had to raise funds. I had to do publicity. And it was amazing. I brought in more money than we even planned. I did so well that everyone commended me. So it was that spirit, that go-getter spirit that I poured into my business, the Grocery Lady. The marketing that we did was not just come and buy. I would go out of my way to, I would travel. I would document my trips. I would document my journey. On our highlights right now, you can see all our journey from 2018 till date.
Yes.
Everything is there. Everything is written. If as we're harvesting, I am showing the farmers harvesting. I wanted customers to feel like they were also on the farm with me. So every single aspect, every single area, I was putting it out there. Come with me to harvest strawberries. This is how we harvest your strawberries. This is how we pack your order. This is how we do this. This is how we do that. So it was a storytelling, marketing that I was doing. Right, and I believe it was ahead of its time then, because a lot of people did not really, they didn't really like, how would I say, they didn't really value what we were putting in, the amount of work that I had to put in by myself. So yeah.
I love the fact that you talked about this because I've always wondered about, so you see a video from the Grocery Lady.
Yeah.
There's a storyline.
Yeah.
So I've always been like, how does this girl craft that? No, now I know that it's actually like background. Your performing arts background plays a major part in how you script stories because it then takes you on a journey. You just feel like, okay, this story, this one, they clip this scene and that, which leads me to the next thing I wanted to ask.
Okay.
There seems to be an intentionality with respect to how you portray your content.
Okay.
Right. the videos and the pictures, there's a certain level of, even before you move to more high-tech gadgets, right? I'll use that word. There always seemed to be a nice feeling around the way your pictures went. So the pictures, I don't know whether you were editing it in a certain way, or it was the way the angles you were taking to the pictures. But going through the Grocery Lady page felt it had this very nice nature feel that I think it was also, it almost seems as though it was an intentional part of your marketing strategy.
It was. So because I grew up all my life in Lagos, and, I moved to Ilorin, and I'm always on social media. But like I said, I didn't like the fact that the media portrayed Jos as an unsafe state, as a state where it's filled with insecurity. If you go to Jos, someone will just shoot you and gun you down.
Yeah.
So I knew I needed to change that narrative, and that was what I set out to do. I wanted to change the narrative about Jos. I wanted to portray Jos the way it is, the way I saw it, the blue sky that I was amazed by the first time I came to Jos, everything. And so I made sure that when we started making substantial money, I changed my phone, So it's not about what you have, it's about how you use it. I was using my iPhone 6 then, but I was also using it in a way that it was doing the work, but it wasn't capturing the way I wanted. So the moment we had enough money, I changed my phone and I started learning how to take proper pictures. I wasn't editing, I just, captured the people. So I would say that it wasn't just taking the background or the product, it was the people.
Yes.
So most of our pictures were focusing on the farmers. And that's why you don't see my face. You don't see my own face. Because I believe I'm doing this for the farmers, for the people. So I was capturing that. I was also going the extra mile, to show the work that goes on behind the scene. It's not easy. I was capturing everything, the good, the bad. From the logistics aspects, I would go to the airport when we were shipping our orders. I would show customers, this is what we face. This is what is happening. So I was carrying everyone along. And I think just putting that out there, people appreciated that. At first it was new, it was something different. It was something that other people were not doing, but I was doing it. And soon with time and with consistency, people, they started appreciating things like that, because I was going out of my way to show all these things, to show every single aspect of the business, of the value chain, from harvesting to packaging to shipping to even how customers are even using their products. So then we had customers that would send us, unboxing videos, how they use their products, food. We would post that to inspire other people. So it was just, we do this. I'm doing this not because of profit, but because of, I want to make a change. Yeah. I want to make something. I want to change the agricultural, industry in Plateau State, the value chain, everything, the food system. So, and that's why I said that our vision is to build a globally recognized food system.
Yeah.
That's the vision of the Grocery Lady. We want to change agriculture. We want to change how people see Plateau State. And so I hope I've been able to answer your question.
Fantastic. Now, you work with these farmers.
Yeah.
So this is a two-pronged question. On one hand, what are some of the challenges that they face, right, that the farmers face that most people don't see, right? And then the second part of it is, what are some of the challenges you've had
with the farmers
in working with the farmers?
Oh, God. Timothy, please don't let me say this. Oh, God. Ooh. Some of the challenges that the farmers face is funding. Growing food is not easy. The farmers put in a lot of work, and it's not everything that you plant that will germinate. The farmers put in a lot of work. They plant, and then months later nothing is coming out of it. They have to do the same thing all over again. And so when we came in, I realized that a lot of these farmers, they need access to funds. So the Grocery Lady is a bootstrap company. We've never had, external funding. So what we did was, from the profit that we made, we were lending these farmers microcredit. So we had like a lending system where we'd give the farmers that, take this amount of money to, kickstart your planting season. And then when you start harvesting, then we can now start, subtracting. And so it really helped the farmers, especially because a lot of farmers were not getting funding. They were applying, but they weren't getting it. So we had to do our own part. And so we started lending these farmers money. And another thing that we taught them about quality. We had to teach them. We had to let them know that this thing is premature. Do not harvest this thing until it's ripe. So another thing I did on my own part was I was networking with farmers outside of Nigeria. I was making an effort to reach out to farmers in other countries where agriculture was thriving. Kenya thrives a lot in agriculture. Kenya is in Africa, but they are leading when it comes to agriculture. You would go to Walmart, you would go to stores, and you will see products of Kenya.
Yeah.
So I wanted that for us. You know, I want people to go to stores, you know, in America, in Europe, and just see products of Nigeria. I want that. It's a good feeling. So I would reach out to these people. I would say, hi, my name is this. I'm in Nigeria. Can you help us with this? So our farmers were also facing, you know, crop issues. They were being attacked by crops, and they just did not understand how to deal with it. So I'll reach out to the farmers outside and say, please, can you help us with this? And it was good. We started building relationships with other farmers in other countries, and we're, you know, merging them with our own farmers, and they were learning. So that was something that we built. We built a system where our farmers could learn from other farmers, and we could also learn from them. So we were also transferring our own knowledge to them, and it was beautiful, right? So, so some of the things that farmers faced were access to credit and also access to information, you know, and so that was what we provided for them. We provided them with microcredit. We provided them with access to other farmers and a network of farmers also. And with time, we started even traveling outside of the country to meet with these farmers physically, and we were learning from them physically. They took us seriously. We were going to Kenya because I went to Kenya for 2 weeks, and I went there to learn how to grow blueberries. We do not currently grow blueberries in Nigeria. We've tried it multiple times. We failed. So I was not happy. I was not happy at the fact that we kept on failing where we tried. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go and learn. So I went to the countries that were thriving in agriculture, right? That were doing so well, that were exporting. Because the goal for us is not to export right now. The goal for us is to feed people in Nigeria. We don't have enough food. As much as there's food waste, we still don't have enough. The food waste happens because the food is not getting to the people that need it. So as much as, you know, we want to grow this food, we also want to make sure that Nigerians have access to this food. There are still some Nigerians that don't know that we still grow strawberries in Nigeria. Some don't even have access to it yet. So we're trying to make sure that everything you need is available to you in Nigeria. You do not have to import. We have it. Right now, we found out that they grow rambutan. Rambutan grows in southern part of Nigeria. And so what we're doing right now, we're aggregating it, right? The farmers there don't know the value of what they have. Rambutan is one fruit that it's globally exported. The global exporters are in Thailand, in Asian countries, and they're making millions from just exporting rambutans. Meanwhile, in Uyo and in Calabar, it's there.
It just grows.
It's in the market. You find them on the market like the way you find sweets. This is a multi-million-dollar industry, and it's just there. So when I discovered this, I started aggregating it. I started, you know, reaching out to the businesses that we supply. I started putting it out there because we don't know the value of what we have. We have a lot in Nigeria. We are so blessed in Nigeria, but we don't know what we have. So it's our job at the Grocery Lady to let people see the value in what they have. To also make sure that the local farmers, the local communities also have access, you know, they make enough money from what they sell, right? They are profiting from it. So, that answers the question of what the farmers face.
Challenges that the farmers face.
Now, to the to the question of what...
The challenges you faced working with farmers.
I think... When I started the Grocery Lady, I underestimated farmers. I just thought, you know, farmers, you know, one thing I had to do that I had to learn quickly is with farmers, you have to be very, very, you have to have boundaries. You have to be tough. My nickname is Iron Lady. And I got that nickname
from one of the farmers?
Because from all of them.
Oh, wow.
You know, because I do not take nonsense. I am very strict. Even though I am young, one of the things I tell people is, if you don't respect small girl, don't collect small girl's money. I had to let them know that you need to respect me. If I tell you that I need the strawberries at 10 o'clock, I expect you to bring them at 10 o'clock. If you don't bring it at 10 o'clock and you bring it later on, I will not collect it. And that happened multiple times. So my reputation grew that this lady, you cannot mess with her. She's a woman of awards. If she tells you 10 o'clock, bring it at 10 o'clock. Right? And that's because, the flights, we have flights that come into just at a certain time.
It's time bound for you.
Exactly. And we're racing against time. If I tell you that I need the strawberries at 10 o'clock, we need time to pack the strawberries. We're packing them individually. We're packing them for different customers, for different needs. I need time. So if you don't bring them at the right time, I would miss the flight.
It defeats the purpose.
And then what's going to happen? Who is meant to bear the loss? So that was something that I had to enforce. I had to create systems. There was no system. There was no system in place. I had to create a system. And I had to stand by my words. And I had to be very firm about it. This is what I like. This is what I don't like. And that's how the nickname Iron Lady grew. Because I would tell you I need this. Or if I tell you that do not harvest this thing, and you harvest it and bring it to me, I would not take it. Because one of the things the grocery lady is very particular about is quality. Our core value is quality. Quality assurance, quality produce. We have a standard quality. I have a standard quality that I have set that our customers know this is the quality that the grocery lady supplies, and they know us for it. So if you bring something that is not of the standard quality, I would reject it, and I do not mind refunding the customer, right? Because my name means a lot to me. The brand I have built, it means a lot to me. So that was something that I had to hold the farmer's hand. I had to let them know that this is not every day. You're not just supplying inside Jos. You're supplying to Lagos, to other parts of the state. There's a quality that I have set, and you need to meet that quality. Do not harvest premature produce, because another thing I believe in is food is meant to nourish.
Yeah.
Food is meant to be nutrient-filled. If you harvest produce that is not ready to be harvested yet, then what's the point of eating it? So one of our focus is to create access to safe, local produce. And that was safe means that whatever you are buying or you are eating from us is of the highest quality. It is safe for you, it is safe for your body and for your health and well-being. Yeah. And so that was not something that was easy to reinforce. I am going to tell you, Timothy, it wasn't easy, because it felt like I was the bad guy, whereas I was just trying to enforce something that, it's meant to be common. So a lot of people don't know this, but there's a chemical called carbide.
Yes.
And it's a very harmful chemical.
Used for ripening a lot of produce before their time.
Carbide, if you eat a carbide produce a lot, you're going to have cancer. It's going to destroy your health. You're going to have liver problem. It's killing you slowly, and you don't even know. Right? Because it doesn't show. So what carbide is these people that want to control how fruit ripens, they would take it. So fruits like mangoes, are mostly ripened with carbide. Right? And they would take this carbide, wrap the mangoes with it, and then overnight the mango is ripe. So they do this. Also, another thing I feel like we don't do enough in Nigeria is we don't educate people. So most of these people are doing this because they feel like it's just, I don't want to make loss. I don't want all my mangoes to ripen at the same time. So I want to be selling them small. But by doing that, you're killing other people. You're killing people's health. So we need to do our part to educate people. When I see people washing oranges with soap or carrots with soap, I will stop and I will educate them. I'll tell them that, do you know that what you are doing is not good? Soap is not good to be ingested. You need to stop doing this. Use water. Water only is enough to, wash your carrots, to wash your produce. Yeah. So it's our job as individuals to educate people. When you see something that is wrong, stop it. Educate others. And so that was what I was doing. It was my mission at that point to be educating people. And it felt like I was the bad guy. Like, what is wrong with you? Mind your business. I'm not going to mind my business.
Because it is your business.
So
literally,
I would ensure that I would do quality control and ensure that our farmers harvest produce only when it is mature. Do not put anything. Do not try to control the ripening. Produce are meant to spoil. Produce are meant to ripen at a certain time. Do not try to play God. Don't try to do that. So I was always on their neck on, this is it. So I have rules. I have standards. You must follow my standard if you want to work with me. And if you cannot follow the standard, you won't be part of the grocery lady, suppliers. So we have a network of farmers that we work with. We have over 100 farmers, more than that right now. Of course, over the years, our farmer, supply chain has grown, and we have a lot of farmers that we work with. So if you do not follow the standards that, I have set, then we would not take your produce.
Yeah.
Because our customers really put a lot of trust in us to supply the best quality produce. They trust that every produce they're buying from us is safe for their family, for their children to consume.
Yeah.
So enforcing this rule, it was very, very tough. It was very, very tough. I had to find my own people. I had to find the farmers that they were also passionate about things like this, right? So another thing I also did was I also educated the customers. If you say you want organic produce, organic is not pretty.
It's not always pretty.
Organic is not perfect.
Yes.
Organic is not uniformed in sizes. Organic will have spots. Naturally grown produce, because I use both of them, naturally grown and organic. These produce that are safe for you and quality, they are not perfect. Produce like spinach, kale, they'll be eaten by bugs. And that's because we don't spray them. Exactly, we don't spray them with pesticides.
Chemicals.
So produce like kale, you cannot expect that the kale leaves will just be perfect. So we get questions like, oh, my purple cabbage is not fresh. It is fresh. Just because you see the little O's on the purple cabbage does not mean that it's not fresh. It's just been eaten by bugs. And that's not a bad thing. That's actually a good thing because it shows that what we're growing is quality. So we had to be posting that. We had to be educating people. Another thing I had to realize while doing this business is consumer education. A lot of people are so used to buying from the supermarket that they don't even recognize what the produce looks like first before it is repackaged by the supermarket. So iceberg lettuce has 2 layers, the inner layer and the outer layer. What most people buy in the supermarket is the inner layer. But when you buy from us, you get both the outer layer and the inner layer. And we do not cut, we do not wash. So when you buy iceberg lettuce, it's very sandy. But all you have to do is just peel out the outer layer because the outer layer protects what is inside. And that's how we deliver it to our customers. We do not wash. You receive the produce the way it is grown. We do not separate them. We give you every part of the produce. So you may receive your beetroot with the leaves and it's going to be sandy. So we had to start educating people that sand on your produce is not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. I mean, it came out of the ground.
Right? Spots, mangoes will have spots. We do not ripen our mangoes with carbide. It is fresh from the tree. And it may have spots because, it's fresh from the tree. We are not ripening it prematurely. It's mature, right? So those were things that we had to educate the consumers. We also had to educate the farmers. So it felt like we were doing it felt like we were doing everything. We were carrying the burden. It was not easy, Timothy. It's not easy to build something that people are not used to. But it's our job to build a sustainable food system. It's our job to change the way Nigerians see food, to change the way Nigerians eat their food, the way they consume their food, right? We had to do a lot of education. This is how to eat this. Also, most of the voice that you hear on the voiceovers are my voice. It's my voice. So this is how to do this. This is how to do that. And people love it. People love us for it right now. People come to us and say, oh, I did not even know that, mangoes have this name. Or I answered question in class because I learned so and so things from you. And I realized that, the work that we've been doing that felt like it was unnoticed or people were not valuing it, people do right now. And it feels really good to know that, your work is being recognized and people appreciate the work you put in. But yes, it was tough.
It is.
It was tough building from scratch. The name Iron Lady, I pray that people, I hope that, they understand where I'm coming from, right? I had to do it. I had to be tough, not just for, for myself, for the sake of the business also. You can't be a business owner and you are not tough. You have to be tough. You have to enforce, you have to have rules. You have to have systems in place. And people need to follow those rules and those systems because it's all part of the value chain. It's all part of, growing and building the business. So, yes.
In picking from the things that you just said, there's a major problem.
Okay.
And the major problem is the fact that our agri-food systems in Nigeria still have a long way to go.
We do.
As someone who many people do not know, that I actually did study agricultural economics.
You did?
That's my background.
Wow. And now you're in tourism.
I mean a number of things. But there seems to be a disconnect.
Yeah.
Right. there seems to be a disconnect between the things that you learn, quote unquote, in class,
class.
and the things that are. Now, you've talked a lot about educating
Consumer
farmers
education.
and educating consumers. I would have thought that we would have better systems doing that with even the people that were even training out of our universities studying agriculture. Unfortunately, it's not happening.
It's not.
It's not happening because on the side of the farmer education, that's the work of extension services. But we don't even have enough extension workers in the country. Let's not. I don't even want to start going into the technicalities of these things. Now, you're here,
Yeah.
and you're educating these farmers.
Yeah.
There's only very few of you. How do we then ensure quality across not just farmers here in Plateau State, but all over the country, ensuring that, one, there's quality of produce that is going out. Two, that the produce that are going out are not even killing people based on the use of some of these harmful substances. You would see people by the time we even go to post-harvest conversations, people are using very harmful substances to preserve things like beans and things like other grains. And you're eating what is killing you. Right? This is a major problem.
It is. It is, Timothy. It is. It's a major problem. And you don't know until you are in it, right? I did not think when, I used to live in Lagos, you just go, you buy what you don't ask questions.
You just go and see what's in the market and price
so you
and
don't
buy.
ask questions. But now that I'm in it, there's so many questions that you should be asking. You need to ask questions. You need to know where your food is coming from. You need to know how your food is grown. As Nigerians, I just want to eat. But you need to ask these questions because it's important. Most of the food that you're eating is killing you and you do not know, right? So I believe agriculture and agribusiness is very, very diverse. And I tell people, there's space. There are opportunities. There are places that you can find yourself and tap into. We need more people in agriculture. We need more people in systems, to put systems in place.
Yeah.
I also believe that it's also the job of the government to make sure that there are regulatory bodies in place that are doing their job. There needs to be checks and balances put in place. You understand?
Yes.
So, everyone needs to play their part. And one of the part that we're going towards right now is agro-tourism.
Yeah.
We're using tourism and also, agriculture to educate people.
Yeah.
And that's why, we're thankful for people like you, Discover Just,
Yeah.
that are, holding people's hands, telling them that Just is not just, mountains and waterfalls, there's also agriculture, and you're educating people. So agro-tourism is the future of food. It's how we're able to educate people and let people, see what is actually going on with their food system. Because a lot of people are so out of touch. They don't know that there's a lot that you need to be asking. There's a lot you need to be doing. There are things you need to spot. So one of our posts on potatoes went viral where we talked about if you see a green spot on your potato, do not eat it. That post went viral because a lot of people do not even know that. And what causes this green spot is do not put your potatoes directly under the sun. Keep your potatoes in a dry, warm place. So those are things that people do not even know. So it's important for the Ministry of Agriculture to also put out this information, safety information, food safety, ripening, the right way to ripen your produce, the right way to eat your produce. Those are things. I can't do everything.
Yeah.
So we need more people to amplify this voice. We're trying our best, but we need more people to amplify all this information, put it out there. In the major markets, let it be there, like a signage. This is it. Food should nourish, not harm.
Yeah.
This is how to do this. This is how to do that. Do not wash your carrots with soap. Only water is fine.
Yeah.
So these are things that need to be put out there. People need to be educated. You need to reintroduce food to people. The same food you've been eating is not the same thing right now. The climate is changing.
Yeah.
The way food is being grown is different right now. So people need to educate themselves, So I believe that, for this information to be passed across, we just need to keep working. We need to put it out there. And not just only us, but we need everyone to do it. If you see something that is not good, call it out.
Yeah.
If you see someone washing their produce, because I saw a video online where someone was washing sugarcane with water from the
From
gutter.
the gutter.
So you need to, don't say it doesn't concern me. I'm not buying the sugarcane. I'm not going, no.
Everybody must be responsible in this situation right now.
Exactly. We need to be our neighbor's keeper. If you see something wrong and you've learned it from the grocery lady, you've learned that, okay, potatoes that have green or that are turning green are not safe. When you see those kind of potatoes, call it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you see someone using carbide in the market, tell the person sniper with beans. You need to call these things out. You also need to ask the right questions. When you are buying, don't just say, is this thing sweet? That's not the only question you should ask. It's not only about sweetness. You need to look at it. Is this thing, okay, is this sweet? But where did you get this from? How long has it been traveling? Food is meant to spoil.
Yeah.
Food is meant to spoil. If you have bread right now that you've kept outside for days and it hasn't spoiled, you shouldn't be eating it. If you have avocado that is not ripening, do not eat it. You have kale, you have this leafy greens, lettuce, and the lettuce is fine and it's shining.
And it's just there for days on end.
You have oranges, and the oranges, they don't have those pixie little marks on it. Real food is not pretty.
Actually have an auntie that says if you're buying bananas, the uglier, the more healthy they are.
I agree. If you are buying bananas, the bananas have to have those black spots. Because as banana ripens, the color changes. So if you're buying banana and it is all yellow and so pretty, except you are plucking it from the tree by yourself, right? Banana is also another fruit that people don't understand. People don't know. Banana and plantain, it can ripen on the tree.
It can.
Why are you cutting banana before it ripens, or you're cutting plantain before it ripens? You can leave it to ripen on the tree, right? So those are things that we need to just educate ourselves and just. I feel like, so I asked someone one day, I saw her cutting a banana from the tree while it was still green, and I said, "Why are you cutting it?" And she said, "That's what we've always done." I'm like, no. So we need to unlearn a lot of things that we believe, is the right thing to do, or that's what my parents have been doing. Yeah. That doesn't make it right. Yeah. Right? If you leave your banana on the tree ripened banana is very, very delicious. So if you leave it, another thing people don't take note of is also nutrients. It's not something that you see physically, but it's important.
It's important.
What is the point of eating if you're not getting any nutrients from it? Every type of food is meant to nourish your body. But if you are eating this food and it's not doing anything to your body, what's the point? The reason for eating is for nourishment.
Yes.
So when you are buying food, these are things you need to take note of. These are things you need to keep your eye on. I know right now, the economy is not easy. Things are expensive. But that does not mean that, we would take the shortcut or we would buy, the spoiled produce. Like people that are buying tomatoes that are already spoiled. Why?
Yeah. The first time I saw information about these spoiled tomatoes that people call baje.
Oh, God.
Right. I was really shocked.
Does a lot of harm.
I was learning about aflatoxins.
Yeah.
And the fact that those things contain all of that. And the fact that there's no amount of boiling, you boil it.
You cannot remove it.
That will remove it. And then I started asking myself, so when we even, people tell you, that's even what makes this stew sweet.
Buka stew.
That's what makes the buka stew.
If you want to make buka stew, you have to use budget.
If you use budget, that's the stew that when you finish, you will lick all your fingers.
We need to unlearn all these things.
Unfortunately, we're spending money to eat and create problems for ourselves.
Our body.
And this is
for our health.
Largely because we don't have systems that check
and balance all these things.
Do you understand?
You should not even be. There should. Nobody should be.
I will still say that we still have an education problem in Nigeria, and our education problem. It might not be. I'm not saying we don't have schools, right? But
it should be taught from things like this. It should be taught from the grassroots. It should be taught from
why
you are learning A for apple, B for boy. You should also learn things about food.
Yes, because why should you go to market and buy baje?
And okay, also, you need to ask yourself also, who put it out there that Baje is the best, produce to buy if you want to make
It's a
bukas
narrative.
soup? It's a narrative. So we need to change the narrative.
Sorry, before we continue, I need to say this to all our international audience. The word Baje, it just is basically a Nigerian
Overripe.
terms for spoiled.
Or
In fact,
overripe,
leading to spoiled tomatoes. Tomatoes that are already having those whitish substances on them. So that's yeah. I just wanted to chip that in, just in case you're confused on what we're talking about. Right. So these are the problems. We have certain expectations or certain narratives around food. And we are not realizing that food is supposed to first nourish. Food is medicine.
Exactly.
Food is medicine.
Orange is vitamin C.
Food is medicine.
The vitamin C that the pills, vitamin C drugs that you're using, just drink oranges. Yeah. Drink your carrot juice. Mm-hmm. Eat your carrots. Eat your bananas. They're going to nourish your body.
But when what you are even eating is compromised, how then do you now live a nourished life?
And that's why it's important to ask the right questions. Know what to look out for when you're buying this produce. Know the vendors to also buy from, right? So we at the Grocery Lady, that's why I said that we ensure that our customers know us for quality. Mm-hmm. We cannot drop that ball because it's very, very important to us. It's something that we're also very passionate about. We eat what we grow. And that's why every farmer that is under our network, they are also passionate about it. No shortcuts. It's not only about profit for them. It's about making sure that people eat nourished produce, nourished food. And that's why when we market our produce, we don't say it's perfect. Yeah. We don't say it's spotless. We don't use the word perfect, spotless. No. If you buy from us, I'm going to say right now, if you buy from us, you're not going to receive perfect-looking produce. Mm-hmm. Our priority when we're growing and when we're selling is that it is filled with nutrients and it is safe. Mm-hmm. Safety is very important. Higher standard, quality produce. Yeah. And that's why I believe we have a long way to go when it comes to exporting our produce.
We do.
Because those are things that they would test for quality.
Of course, and quality starts from the seed that you plant.
Very, very important.
And the agricultural processes that you put in place before you even harvest.
It's a whole value chain. Right? And that's why we have a long way to go. Having learned from other countries that are exporting, I realized that in order for us to export our produce, we need a lot of work. We need to first of all educate the farmers. Mm-hmm. We're trying our best at the grocery to educate our farmers. Let them know that this is what we expect, this is what we need. But there's a lot of education that needs to happen. Mm-hmm. You need to train farmers on the right way to grow food, on what to use. Okay, another thing that some of our farmers that we've learned from them, and we're also teaching it to other farmers. So we have a network. Our farmers are all friends.
Okay, great.
We had to form this thing. It's not there. So we've had to create solutions for ourselves. So one thing we had to form, or I had to create, is that I created a network. All our farmers, they know each other. I introduce themselves. Okay, this is this. He grows this. This is that. He grows this. We also have farmers that are in the medical field, like plant doctors. Some of our farmers are PhD holders. Some of them are plant biologists. They are scientists. We have all this. And so when you have a problem with your plant, you reach out to them. What do I do? So they teach you, how to, treat your plants without using harmful chemicals. Mm-hmm. So things like, there's something called rabbit urine. I always mention this thing. It's a business that is growing. That's how you can come in. Also, for people that are listening, if you want to come into agriculture, you want to come in, you don't have to sell fresh produce. You can provide services to farmers. So there are people that rear rabbits and they sell the urine. So rabbit urine is used as natural pesticides, right? Another way to, deter pests. So you want to chase pests away.
You don't want to completely eliminate them.
Because they are important.
Mm-hmm. They are part of the ecosystem.
They are. We need them. Things like flies. People see flies and say, oh, flies, ew, mosquitoes, ew. We need them, right? We need the caterpillars. We need the worms. We need the rats. There are rats inside the ground that help with, making sure that food grows. We need all these things. So you don't want to just kill them, but you just want to deter them, to keep them away. So for example, some of our strawberry farmers, the way to keep pests away is they plant onions and pepper, garlic, pungent things in between the strawberry plants. Right? So what that does is that you're not eliminating them. It's not harmful to the strawberries itself,
Yes.
but it keeps the pest away.
Anyway.
So there are natural ways of, deterring pests. It's not every time you have to spray chemicals. And the chemicals, you cannot wash them off your produce. You cannot. So it's important, as consumers to also shop wisely. And the farmers also, we play a major part. Farmers play a major part in the food system.
Yeah.
So already, farmers also, you have a part to play.
Yeah.
When you are growing food, don't think of the profit. Don't think of the money. Think of the people that are going to be eating it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Timothy, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of, there's a lot of unlearning that we need to do. We've been fighting this for 7 years. We've been building this from the ground up, and there's still a lot of work to do. As we are succeeding in one angle, we still realize that there's more to do. Our major problem right now is logistics. Logistics is one of the major problems.
To even come there right now.
Well, logistics one of our major problems. If you can act logistics, we've acted. We've acted like 80% of our problem. Because getting food from point A to point B is very, very difficult. We are aggregators. We aggregate from the farmers and, ship to the supply, to the people that need the produce, to the businesses, But it's so difficult doing our job, because there are no systems in place. We've tried to, use cold truck, but we have issues. The road is not good. So the truck is meant to arrive in a day. It's arriving 2 days later. The quality of the produce deteriorates with time. So logistics is one of our major problems. We're trying our best. Right now, we're looking for partners that can partner with us to create a cold chain system, so that from the farm, every aspect of the value chain, we're using cold chain logistics.
Yeah.
Right? That means having these cold storage facilities directly on the farm. As you're harvesting, the produce they get chilled, they relax a bit before you start shipping them.
Yeah.
But because we don't have this in place, the moment we harvest, we're shipping them immediately. We're carrying them out.
People don't believe that some of these things actually have shock.
There's
actually shock.
They do.
Because that they're living. They are living things.
They are. So it's we don't have cargo planes, Timothy. We don't have planes or logistics for just fresh produce.
Yeah.
The train.
It would be so lovely if we did.
So the way we ship our produce, we use passenger aircraft. So we don't have planes.
And there's a limitation to how much
exactly.
the quantity that you can ship per time.
And so it stifles what we can sell. So our growth right now is stifled because we cannot. If our farmers have the capacity to harvest 1,000 kilograms, we can't ship that many. And that's why during COVID, COVID was a breaking point for us, but also we saw an opportunity, right? It was during COVID when we could not ship produce, when we could not, our farmers had this produce, they kept on calling us, that I had to think, what can we do? How can we preserve the shelf life of this produce without losing, the quality? So we started processing. We started adding value to the produce by processing them into jams, marmalades, and so that way we can sell them, without having to, refrigerate them. So that's another thing that we had to look for. How can we add value to this produce, right? And so we're doing jams and marmalades right now.
Fantastic.
From different fruits, and we are also venturing into making syrups, fruit syrups, because one thing that an industry that is growing right now is the juice industry. People are making mocktails, cocktails. Do you know that we don't have our own naturally? So one of the major ingredients for making Chapman, which is beloved by everyone, is pomegranate juice or pomegranate molasses.
Okay.
Right? It's a major ingredient for making Chapman. We grow pomegranates in Jos.
We do. But do we have anybody doing it in like massive commercial scale right now?
I won't say massive commercial scale. So another thing is that you need to understand that if you want a farmer to grow massively, are you going to uptake everything?
Of course, that's
If the farmer has massive commercial scale
and there's no
quantity of
market,
pomegranates, what will happen?
And pomegranates are not even cheap.
They are not even cheap to grow. It was a journey to grow it, right? A lot of our farmers had to do major research. In 2018, pomegranates was not growing in Plateau State. As at 2018, it wasn't growing. It was a lot of work and research. And that's one thing I would say about Plateau State farmers. They are very, very smart. They put in a lot of work and a lot of effort, right? A lot of things that were not growing a few years ago, right now we're growing them in large quantity, right? So we're growing pomegranates right now. I think we're doing up to 100 kilos, right, during the season. And we can get that up to 1,000 kilograms. But who is going to buy everything? So there's no company right now that would uptake pomegranate and start making pomegranate syrups or pomegranate molasses, right? And we need this for Chapman. It's one of the major ingredients for Chapman.
And so it's still being imported.
It is. But we have pomegranate growing in Nigeria. So there are a lot of opportunities in agriculture, but most people don't even see it. There are lots of opportunities. I welcome people to join agriculture. Look for how you can help. If you can fix logistics, please fix logistics. There are ways you can tap into. There are ways you can come in. If you can start rearing rabbits and supplying farmers with rabbit urine, please do. The more rabbit urine you supply farmers, the more naturally they grow their produce. They don't have to rely on chemicals. Because when you make rabbit urine, when it's available in abundance, the price will drop and farmers can afford them. So most farmers will be able to afford them. So, I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, it does. For a young lady
Yes.
who is looking or considering to get into agriculture,
Yes.
and agriculture is not pretty. You've mentioned it before. Agriculture is not pretty. A young lady who is looking to get into agriculture and is not even sure whether or not to do it, she's interested, but God, this thing doesn't look like it's going to pay big money immediately. What if she was like the younger version of yourself, what would you say to her?
What I would say is, if I was doing it all over again, I would take it slow. I would do my research. Now, for me, I jumped into this without properly, studying the market, doing my research, understanding where can I come in. So for someone that wants to venture into agriculture, I would first like to say it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be pretty. You have to invest. Like for me now, I never put capital into it. I just turned around people's money to grow the business. So with agriculture, you don't really need to have every capital before you start. Just start. But know where you're starting from. Where do you want to come in? Do you want to come in as someone that is, you don't even have to, you can supply packaging for farmers, right? So we don't use plastic packs for our strawberries. We use paper packs, right? And so what that did is that we stopped importing from China when, the exchange rates went up. We stopped importing from China and we started making our own packs, paper packaging. And that way we've created job for the people that design our packs, that create them. That's another way to tap into agriculture. Packaging solution. So you don't have to directly farm and till the land. We are not farmers ourselves, we're aggregators. So look for ways that you can come in. Look for ways that, you can add value. You can go into processing, right? You can go into support for farmers, right? There's so many ways you can come in, logistics. So I would tell anyone that wants to come into agriculture to please do it. Please do it. Find ways that you can help farmers. Find ways that you can provide support, right? Provide a service.
Yeah.
Well, there's always space in agriculture. There's
space.
Enough space. We need more people in agriculture. We need more Nigerians in agriculture.
Yeah.
Because we all eat. We have to eat.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So think of how can you support the farmers? What can you do? So look for ways that you can come in, and I'm going to tell you, it's going to be profitable. It may not be profitable immediately, but with time, just be consistent. Just put your work out there. Use social media well. Social media is a tool that is going to, help you with your growth. Use it well. use it wisely.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I would tell anyone or anyone that wants to venture into agriculture.
Yeah.
Do not be afraid.
Don't be afraid.
Right?
But do the research.
Do your research and also have boundaries, have rules, create systems, put systems in place.
Yeah.
Don't just wing it. You need systems. And don't think that you're too young to venture into agriculture. You're never too young, right? You can do anything you set your mind to. You can definitely do anything. Just figure out what you want to do. What do I want to do? You can start agrotourism. It's an industry that is just starting out. There are so many things. There are so many ways you can come in agriculture. Logistics, processing, farmer support. So many ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fertilizer. Right? The sand. Oh, by the way, did you know that farmers buy sand? They buy the sand. They buy sand.
They buy.
So if you want to start your farm, you need to buy. There are companies that you buy sand from. So there's so many areas. Do you get what I mean? So I think like buying like would I say crate or something? It's quite expensive. So you buy all these things. So there are so many ways to come in agriculture. So there are people that supply farmers with sand to fill their land.
Interesting.
So like the soil and those things that you need. Exactly.
Yeah, interesting.
There are people that even sell worms.
Earthworms.
Yeah. If your land does not have worms, there are people that will supply you with it.
Interesting.
So like,
pollinators, bees. Bees are pollinators. I met someone some years ago, and he told me his job. I met him somewhere around that Cavom area.
Exactly.
And he told me that his job is he has bees, and he just goes to people's farms to help them pollinate. So he would drop his bees on their farm for like a week.
Can you see?
When he's sure that pollination is done, he takes the hive and then moves somewhere else.
Exactly.
And I'm like, that's smart.
So it's a business or it's a part of agriculture that most people don't even know exists. It's a job. There are people that do composting.
Yes.
They collect all your waste and
compost it and then sell it
for you and sell. So you don't have to.
Honestly speaking, that is such. And if you're listening to me, I think that is such an important opportunity.
Composting.
Hey, we have such massive waste problem in Nigeria.
We do.
If you go to the markets at the end of a market day and just mop up all the leaves and all the spoiled fruit and everything, and just focus on composting, that is a gold mine especially for farmers in the organic agricultural space, and even just farmers generally, right? Because compost is like giving your land proper nutrients to be able to support the growth of your crops.
So there are so many opportunities in agriculture. Just find it.
Yeah.
Don't do what everybody else is doing. This person is doing. Don't copy what everybody else is doing.
Yeah, that's another problem. Oh, this thing is making money now, and everybody wants to just get into it because they said there's money in it.
Find where you can come in, look for an opportunity, and provide a service. Just provide a service to people. And you always have income. You always have something to do.
Yeah.
Look for how you can come in.
Yeah.
Composting, like you said. So many ways. Many ways you can come in. You don't have to do exactly what everyone is doing.
Yeah.
Right? So agriculture is very, very important. We need people in the food system. We need people to be a part of the food system. We need people to drive change.
Yeah.
We need people. We need to play our part as Nigerians, right? You can also come and work for us, right? There are always people that are looking for people to work for them on their farms, people to help them grow. There are so many ways you can come in.
Yeah.
Right?
Amazing. This has been beautiful.
Thank you so much.
One thing I must add here is the fact that if there's anything that anybody should take away from this is, one, agriculture is not a poor people's thing.
No.
And there's some sort of a narrative, especially for many young people who grew up from homes where their parents were doing farming and all of that, and you just grow up and you feel like, come on, man, I have to do something else that brings me money because I don't want to be poor. I saw my father and my mother doing agriculture, and it didn't really amount to anything. But there are so many more opportunities within the value chain that is not necessarily primary production. Yeah. And even in primary production, information, like you said earlier, is the difference between the person who is in primary production and not making so much money and the person who is in primary production and making a lot of money. I've met farmers recently, even here on the plateau, who They're empowering production, but they don't even sell to general markets. They already have like a target customer base, and they're delivering to them every week.
Of course.
And they're cleaning out comfortably.
Exactly. Of course. There's someone that's definitely supplying Chicken Republic chickens.
Of course.
So look, there are businesses.
There's so many opportunities.
Yes.
So many opportunities.
So many things you can do. And another thing I want to say to anyone that's starting out is do not be discouraged, right? Start small. And do not be discouraged by your small. Do not feel like, oh, I'm doing too small. I'm doing too little. I want to aim high. Learn as you grow. As you go, just be learning. Learn slowly, especially in agriculture. You don't want... So if somebody gives you 100 million naira now and say, oh, start agriculture, you're going to fail because you need to start small. You start small.
This thing that you just said there is experience that teaches you this thing.
So don't say, oh, I want to start and I want to raise funds first. I want to raise 100 million. I want to do... No.
Start with a 1 billion naira farm.
When I started... I didn't start... Right now, we're doing lots of quantity of strawberries. But when I started, I started with 5 kilos of strawberries. It was quite small, but to me, it was a way for me to start, to learn, to understand the business, to understand the market. And I also have to say, people are going to challenge you. You need to take that challenge. So when I started my business, I heard about a strawberry farmer that grows hectares of strawberries. And my strawberry farmer as at then was just doing very small quantity. And I wanted the best quality. I wanted the best for my customers. So I collected this person's number and I called him up and I said, hi, my name is Ajoke. I was very excited because you got the best strawberries on the plateau. I want that quality. I want that for my customers. So I called him up and I said, hi, my name is Ajoke. I do this, I do that. I want strawberries from you. I want you to be my supplier. And he said, oh, sure. How many cartons are we talking about? How many kilograms? And so I said, oh, I just need 5 kilos. And so he stopped. He said, 5 kilos? Nah, I don't supply small businesses. Come back when you can afford to buy 10 cartons, 50 cartons. And so I stopped and I said, are people buying 50 cartons, 10 cartons? Like, what does that even look like? Because at that point, I was just still a very small business. I couldn't fathom the fact that I can buy 50 cartons at once, 100 cartons at once. But what he said to me was a challenge. Now, for someone else, they will think it's an insult, like, oh, this person just insulted me. I would never call him again. But to me, that was a challenge for me. Because what he's trying to tell me is I need to aim higher. In order for him to supply me, I need to reach a certain quantity. And he was doing what was best for his business. No offense.
Of course.
If he has 1 hectare farm, well, he was doing what was best for his farm at that time. You can't be collecting orders of 5 kg. No, he needs 100 kilos. He needs 200 kilos. He needs 500 kilograms, right? And so I took that challenge and I started growing. And every time I wanted to give up, I would think back to that conversation. I would tell myself that you cannot give up, Ajoke, until you can afford to start buying 100 kg, 500 kg, 1,000 kg strawberries. You cannot give up. You need to keep going. And it wasn't easy. There were days when I just wanted to just say, I'm not doing it again. I'm going back to Lagos. I'm going to look for a white-collar job. I'm not doing anymore. Because agriculture will test you.
It will test you.
But I'm happy to say that right now, that person is our supplier. And we have a beautiful relationship.
Awesome.
And the strawberries are the best strawberries.
Awesome.
Right? And that's the thing about business.
Yeah.
No hard feelings.
Yeah.
Don't take it to heart.
Yeah. Amazing. I love how you brought that. I love how you brought that angle to it. You know, talking about this experience, which literally motivated you. It's an experience that will have discouraged somebody else. No. Right, but it then motivated you to do more, and now you've done more. For him to be your supplier now, it means that you're doing some serious numbers, right? and it's great. It's great to hear. What would you say is the plan for the future for the Grocery Lady? And I'm not talking like 50 years future. I'm talking like the not so far away, not so far future from here.
Yeah. So I've always dreamed, my biggest dream whenever I travel out of the country and I go to the grocery stores, and there was a time like that I picked up a pack of rosemary and I saw products of Kenya, or I go for these conferences and I'm seeing South Africa is representing.
Yeah.
I want that for us.
Yeah.
I crave that for us. I want to go to Tesco. I want to go to Walmart. I want to go to those big chains and see product of Nigeria.
Yeah.
Nigerian grown strawberries. Nigerian grown passion fruit. Nigerian grown rambutans. The way the Asian countries are doing in Thailand, they're exporting their rambutans and their tropical fruits. I want us to do the same thing. And so that's the goal for the Grocery Lady right now. What we've built or what we've been building is leading up to us being, export certified. As much as we want, we are going to supply everyone. We're going to supply as much as possible. But we want to start expanding the quantity that we're growing. We want to expand our farmlands. And we want people to experience and enjoy Nigerian grown produce. You haven't had good strawberries until you have Nigerian just grown strawberries. The quality, the sweetness. I want people to also experience that, to taste that.
Yeah.
Honestly, Timothy, I've had strawberries from Ethiopia, I've had strawberries from Egypt, I've had strawberries from Kenya, I've had strawberries from multiple countries. And the quality of strawberries that we grow, we don't give ourselves enough credit.
We do not.
So we need to share that with people, other people. Yeah. As we are importing strawberries, because we import strawberries when they're out of season in Jos. Right. I want us to also export strawberries to those people when they're out of season in their own country. I want them to also experience our own strawberries.
I remember one time I had this particular woman in town, and she's pretty big in the export space. And she came into town, and then we welcomed her with strawberries. And she tasted it, and she was like, in this Nigeria.
Exactly.
In this Jos.
Exactly.
And so country right now is having scarcity of strawberries, and strawberries are selling for XXX amount of let's use dollar. It's not a dollar denominated country, but let's just use dollar. This XX dollar, and it made me think.
That's where we can come
that we live in such a place of abundance
that we don't know the value.
We don't know the value of what we have. We don't know the value of what we have.
We don't know the value of what we have. A lot of containers come into Nigeria and they leave empty. It's our job to fill up those containers. Right? And so for the Grocery Lady right now, we're aiming for that. We're aiming to ensure that what our farmers are growing is up to export standard quality.
Yes.
Right? And we want to increase the number of produce that we do, but we also want to fix logistics. So we're looking at partners right now that we can work with, that can help us, in this journey that we are on, that, can support us. So if there's anyone, listening right now that works in the logistics space, supply chain logistics, cold chain logistics, please, reach out to us, because we need to fix the logistics system. Right. Yeah. So we're doing that. I also want to go into processing full time. Right. We want to focus on how we can add value to these products that we have. So value-added products is very, very important. So we want to brand, just grown produce and, process them, make them nutrient-rich. I was talking to someone and she was talking about cassava and things like that. So we grow orange flesh sweet potatoes.
Yes.
We're looking for how we can, add value and process it, because so that's what we're looking at. So we want to we sell jams right now, but we want to do more. We want to process more produce. So when tomatoes are in season, you have them in abundance. Yeah. Right? And then when they're out of season, there's lots of demand for them. How can we do it that tomatoes, when they're in season, we can preserve them? Right? So that when they are now out of season, people can have access to fresh tomatoes.
Yes.
So one of the ideas that we have is people buy canned tomatoes, right? So is there a way that we can adjust tomatoes, adjust peppers? Is there a way we can preserve them into, so that they can stay fresh for when they are out of season? Yeah. So preservation is one of the things that we're really looking at right now. And so that's why we created a research and development aspect of the Grocery Lady.
Fantastic.
We're doing research. We're trying to figure out how can we preserve our food so that even when they are out of season, we can still, we can still use them and they are still valuable, So those are things that we're working on right now.
Interesting.
So we're working on export, we're working on preservation, processing our produce, adding value to them. Amazing. And we're looking at partnering with anyone that has logistic solutions, how, we can, ship our produce fresh to the people that need it, and it's going to arrive in good condition.
Amazing.
So,
Thank you so much, Ajoke.
Thank you so much.
That brings us to the end of this beautiful session today. I've learned so much from you.
Thank you so much.
I think that I think that everybody listening to this episode, especially if you have an interest in agriculture or grew up in an agrarian household or some way, somehow you're connected to agriculture in one way or the other, this gives you a lot of food for thought. And I'm going to throw out a challenge right here, especially to young people here on the plateau, but not just on the plateau, young people here, especially around the north central region of Nigeria, because this is like a large chunk where most of the agriculture in Nigeria is done. Don't, as much as you might have some certain perspectives about what agriculture is or what it isn't, and maybe pathways to making money from it or whatever, don't abandon it. Nigeria needs you. Nigeria needs you. The food systems in Nigeria and in West Africa and Africa, they need you, right? There's so many opportunities in agriculture. So many things that you can plug into regardless of your background, regardless of your education and expertise. There's so many things you can plug into. You don't have to, everybody doesn't have to be on the farm, on the soil, right? But there are so many opportunities that we need to begin to take advantage of if we will truly see a food secure Nigeria, right? And I'm leaving you with this challenge today. I look forward to being on your screens and being with you again next week as we bring you more insights, conversations, and stories around business, culture shaping, and much more from the city of Jos and from around this region of Nigeria. Till then, my name is Timothy Kunat, and stay blessed.